Okay, let's get real for a second. Parenting kiddos with ADHD is exhausting. And some days just thinking about talking to a therapist feels impossible. That's why I love Talkspace. Here's the game changer. You can text or chat with a licensed therapist whenever you need. No waiting rooms, no awkward, hi. No forcing yourself to talk out loud when your nervous system is already shot. Just real support on your time in your space. If you're shy, anxious, overstimulated, or just flat out done speaking, this is life-changing. You type, they respond, and suddenly support is literally in your pocket. And the practical mom part? Talkspace accepts most insurance. The average copay is around $15, and a lot of insured members pay $0. No insurance? Still covered. You can get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. So if you've been thinking, I need help, but I can't even, this is your sign. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com and save $80 with code SPACE80. Less guilt, more support. That's the energy we're bringing into 2026. Today on Chaos and Caffeine, I'm sitting down with Sami Garrett, creator of GEM, Good Enough Matrescence. And we're talking about the identity crisis no one warns moms about. Because here's the truth, motherhood alone is a neurological shift. Add in ADHD, now we're juggling executive dysfunction, emotional overload, rage we didn't even know we had, and guilt that shows up before coffee. Sami took her own experience with postpartum, perfectionism, and nervous system burnout and built something powerful, a space where moms stop trying to be optimal and start being human. Her work around matrescence reframes motherhood not as something we're failing at, but as a developmental transition we were never taught how to navigate. In this episode, we're unpacking all the big ones. Why ADHD moms feel like they're behind even before the day starts, what good enough actually means in a neurodivergent house, and how to stop white-knuckling motherhood and start reclaiming yourself. If you've ever thought, why does this feel harder for me? This one's going to hit. Let's welcome Sami to the mic. Sami, welcome to Chaos and Caffeine.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and chat with you. I love chatting about this topic.
Me too. It's my job.
Obviously.
So you have an interesting origin story with ADHD, and if you don't mind, I would love for you to share it.
Yeah, Danielle, I'd love to share it. Okay. So my story, I'd start from like the beginning, like when I was a kid, part of my story. Okay. So when I was a kid, maybe like 7-ish, I can't remember exactly. It was after my parents got divorced. But my dad had said that I have ADHD and dyslexia, which that I for sure know I have. I see that come out in my speaking, flip-flopping things, reading things, flip-flop things all the time. But the ADHD part, there was such a bad connotation on it growing, well, probably still actually, but definitely growing up, like it's bad. Like if you have it, it means you're messed up. There's a chemical imbalance, like you're not normal. So as a kid, our subconscious starts putting all these stories on it. So I was hearing those stories of I'm bad, I'm messed up, I'm not enough, what's wrong with me? I can't do this, all this stuff. And I was like, F that. No, I'm not messed up. I'm perfectly fine. Because I was hearing that story from my mom, who's like, you don't have ADHD. What is he doing medicating you? You shouldn't be medicated. So it was kind of this interesting story for a little bit. And when I moved back in with my mom, she was like, nope, you're done. Like, you're fine. You're perfectly healthy and perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. So I really grasped onto that story, though definitely those other stories were entwined that do pop up later on in life. And some of them I still hear and I'm like, wait, hold up, that's not real. But so then there was my entire life of me just being me and just figuring out how to navigate how I handle things and do things. So, but very much still this I am not broken. No one's broken. And if I even saw ADHD anywhere, I was like, that's a lie. That's not true. I don't have it. Maybe they think they have it, but like they don't have it. It's not even a real thing. We're just all different. And I went to school for anthropology because I love humans and culture, and especially ancient culture. I'm like, everyone's different. Like, what is this? Why is everyone trying to label themselves and make them like bad people or whatnot? So, and I was saying like this happened pretty recently, maybe like last year, actually. I had a friend that was like, I just got clinically diagnosed with ADHD, and my entire life makes sense why I've never been able to keep up, why I've never been able to do this or that, or it just makes so much sense as to why I've never fit into the world. And so she's explaining to me, I'm like, well, tell me more. Like, what do you mean? And so she's telling me all of these little things. And I'm like, well, yeah, me too. Oh, well, yeah, me too. Well, yeah, I experienced that too. Like, doesn't everyone experience that? Like, this is just a normal thing. Like, we figure it out. And she's like, no, this is like ADHD. And so that was when it hit me that, okay, maybe I do have it. I still definitely have this little wall of, but it's not bad. It's not wrong. We're not broken. We don't need fixed. We operate differently and different in like an exciting, cool way, not like a, oh, they're different and don't belong kind of a way. But I've opened up more to the possibility of maybe learning how my brain works can actually help me be more, I guess, function happier. I don't know the exact terminology I'm looking for, but be able to function in a more optimal way in life without so much like friction and butting heads or forcing. Definitely the forcing, being able to soften and work with myself a little bit more. So that's been really cool. But yeah, I feel like it's slightly a different story because most people are like, yeah, I've had it for a while, or I don't know, they don't have a really, I feel like there's still a negative connotation on it though. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, I feel that way.
Yeah, and unfortunately now I think that the negative connotation is coming from within. I
I
think
agree.
that society is adapting and
Yeah.
progressing, but the stigma has kind of shifted from where it comes from.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. And I think a lot of that comes to when we're kids with ADHD and our parents are trying to make us fit in with all the other kids or in this routine that we don't fit in, and then they find solutions for our problems, which aren't really problems, but I see that. And then internally we grow up with those stories of I can't let this show because
Yeah.
it's bad,
Yeah.
and or I have to hide it, or I just have to force myself to do the routine to be productive. And
Yeah.
yeah, I see that.
I have a couple of follow-up questions if
Yeah.
you are willing to share. If not, it is
Yeah.
totally okay. Do you recognize that either of your parents have ADHD?
Oh, that's a really good question. Um, my first instinct is to say no, but my mom may. Like looking back now, I think she may have. My dad was very like structured and could do the routine type things. My mom was more scattered. So I would say maybe she definitely leans more. And who knows, my dad might too, and might be one of those people who just you force yourself into a routine
Yeah.
to fall in line. So
Yeah.
that's a really good question. Probably yes. I mean,
Got
probably
you.
yes.
Got you. My other question is
Yeah.
purely selfishly, and you may not even
Yes.
remember. Do you remember how the medication affected you academically or behaviorally? Do you remember any effects that it had on you?
Super great question. I do. I felt really weird and I lied about taking them most of the time.
Mm,
So I'd like fake take them because I didn't like the way it made me feel. And that is, I have a very interesting relationship with medication. I do have friends that it feels good to them. It fits them. They need it. They say it saved their life. That's amazing and incredible for them. For me, my relationship with most medications, including ibuprofen, is that it makes me feel weird. I don't like it, and it masks a feeling and my body trying to tell me something. It's like even with ibuprofen, if I'm having menstrual cramps, it's for a reason, and I don't want to mask it and then go and do something and hurt myself, kind of a thing. So
yeah.
yeah, I remember feeling really weird. I don't remember exactly how I felt, but I just remember this overall like weird, I don't like it feeling. So I lied about taking them most of the time, and then I try not to. I take Benadryl every once in a while if the allergy attack is really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you for sharing both of those.
yeah,
And one of, well, I guess both of them was purely selfishly, but I just was curious
yeah.
about how it makes you feel. My son also says that
That
it
is
makes him
weird.
feel weird.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel super guilty for asking him to
Oh,
take it during school time.
yeah,
And I think he can see the benefits. His
yeah.
grades have done a 180 and his behavior
Nice.
in class has done a 180. But
Yeah,
it's still that mom guilt of, he doesn't like it and
yeah.
I'm still asking him to. So I just wanted to
Oh,
know very selfishly for that reason.
yeah, no, I totally feel that like coming from both sides. Like I could see his perspective of I feel weird and yes, I'm getting better grades, which is making everyone happy, you know. And then I could totally see it from you too, being like, we are in this system. Like, unless you have the ability to be like, cool, we're gonna homeschool, I'm gonna let you learn the way you want to learn. Like, it's just not an option for a lot of us.
Yeah,
And I totally get it. But, at the end of the day, you feel like you're doing what's best for you and for him. And if you don't, then you can change it. But like, you feel like you are. So that's
yeah,
really, that's really good. That's like so much love for him. And I feel like guilt, a lot of guilt is like just masked. Like it's love, it's deeply rooted love and fear that we're going to do something wrong.
yeah,
And we're not. We're like, I agree with this whole we're not messed up thing and we're not broken. I also feel like we can't mess it up either. And sure, maybe later on down the road, he might be like, you forced me to take this, but you can talk about it, you can share it. It came from such a place of love that I really wanted you to succeed. And he'll be able to hear that and be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, you love me. And yeah, maybe I was irritated at the end. Both can be true, all of that stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, but I
Fingers
get it.
crossed for that conversation down the road.
Yeah, and maybe you won't. Maybe he'll just be like, whatever, it
Yeah,
worked out beautifully and I have no issues.
girl,
Yeah.
that's the one I'm
Yeah.
hoping for.
Yeah, no issues.
My other question is,
Yeah.
now that you have come to terms with you may have ADHD and you are
Yeah.
learning strategies to deal with Sammy,
Yeah.
as we all are in our own ways, how have you come to terms with, and how, I guess, how has it helped you throughout your daily life, your day to
Yeah.
day life?
Yeah. Okay. So I think the one of the biggest things I realized in getting really curious with how some things are really successful and I can do them. And there are times when I can micro focus on something, get it so done, forget to eat, forget to sleep, forget to go pee. And then I'm like, whoa, look what I just created. And also, wow, my stomach's been growling for hours. And then there's other times, that I'm like, I have to get this done. And I can't bring myself to do it. And I think realizing and getting curious and understanding that this pull for me, and I think most people with ADHD, is that we need some kind of meaning and interest behind our actions. Like we aren't linear. We've talked about that. Like we work in these spirals and we are more like emotional. We're more emotionally driven and how our body feels. And so some fun ways for me to either figure out what is actually interesting or how to make something interesting and not force it, but like, how can I make this maybe more fun or how can I get into like a mood to do this? Um, and really grasping onto the interest part and also giving myself permission, like full permission to rest before the burnout. Because, that burnout is we try to do all the things and then like we're so burnt out that we're just like, screw it all, burning it all down. But I can't because I'm a mom or whatever. So really giving myself that permission to rest and that invitation to play more. I think those are kind of the three biggest things that I've tried to mold my life more around is like finding the interest, kind of creating that like fun gamifying of sorts, being able to play, but in a way that feels good for me, not like, if you don't like to play board games, don't play board games. Like maybe painting is fun, like do that. And then resting. I feel like resting. I feel like we don't rest enough. But then also it's so interesting because I don't know if I'm sure you probably experience it's cool being able to talk to someone who understands too, but like
Yeah.
there's structure and like that structure is suffocating in a sense. You're like, I can't do this structure. But then if you're thrown into no structure, you're like, the world of possibilities. Oh my God, what direction do I go? I have 5 million directions. So it's almost like trying to find enough of a structure to like wiggle around in that's not so structured. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it, but
Yeah. I get that so much
yeah.
because you know how you were saying that your dad was very routine,
Yeah.
and so you feel like he may not be the one that had ADHD.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that both of my parents have ADHD, and my dad actually brought that up to me that he does have it because he has the OCD component. So everything has to be
Oh,
very structured. So
yes.
unfortunately, I was raised that way and
Yes.
probably have it myself. So
Yeah.
routine is really important to me, but almost to the point where I'm too rigid. You know, if
Yeah.
things don't go that way, or if things are 5 or 10 minutes off, sometimes I'm like working
Yeah.
myself up in a tizzy. And so I'm really trying to work on that because I don't want my kid to have that
Ah,
anxiety of those 5 minutes, that mom
yeah.
lost her cool about. And in
Yeah.
reality, it all worked out anyway.
Oh my gosh. I totally understand that. Yeah. Or when you're like, you start and you're 5 minutes late, and now everything the rest of the day feels like you're late, even though you're not late anymore. You're very much on time, but you still are like, I'm so late. I
Yeah.
totally understand that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yes.
Which he's 10 now, so he can tell me, like, Mom, it's
Cool
5 minutes. We're fine, everything's fine. But
Yeah.
before, definitely during his toddler days when literally nothing happened but daycare, I'm like, ah.
And you're 5 minutes late, even like 20 minutes late for that. And it's like, whatever, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard when you, yeah, especially if you do lean more towards OCD. I feel like, I don't know, there might be like certain things for me that are kind of OCD, but I'm more of, I see the big picture and then details don't matter. Like, I am not a good person to hire if you're looking for spelling errors. Like, I couldn't care less about spelling errors or punctuation or things like that. But bigger picture, that might be where I'm a little bit more like, no, it has to like move like this or flow like that. But it's so funny how these things like do put an imprint on our kids too. And then when we see it, that's like the biggest, oh my gosh, they're doing that because I react like that.
Yeah. So this is
Oh,
completely off track and not
yeah.
ADHD related, but I had a massive spiritual awakening in
Nice.
2021. So my kid can actually remember not calm mom, and now
Yeah.
he knows that I'm
Amazing.
calm mom. He doesn't know what
Love
happened
it.
in between, but
Yeah.
he actually now he calls me the calm mom. I've asked
Oh,
him not to do that in front of not calm moms because that will
yeah.
piss them off even more. But yeah, so when people are like, "How are you so calm?" I'm like, "The
Yeah.
universe gifted me a shortcut and I cannot give it to you. I wish that I could." But
Amazing.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. I could just imagine him being like, the calm mom. My mom's the calm mom, and other moms being like, so I'm not calm, which I don't know. It's an invitation for them to examine why. And
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
but oh my gosh, I love that.
I know. So I'm kind of I've spent the last 4 years working on the damage that not calm mom may
Yes,
have done so that we can get some strategies in
I
and
love
learn
that.
that she needed some healing.
Absolutely. And like, how cool is that that then your son is able to be like, hey, my mom's not perfect. She was the not calm mom. She figured out how to be more calm, and she's apologizing and connecting with me and giving me permission to have not calm moments. And
Yeah.
like, how cool is that? I
Yeah.
love that.
It's a good reframe. I'm going to keep that.
Yeah. I like to think I do. I like to think that all of our what we say are mistakes are not mistakes. They're just invitations to let our children know that they can be humans too. And they
Yeah.
can mess up and there's still love and all of that. But yeah, it's
Yes.
really cool.
So I would love for you to tell our listeners about
Yeah.
your community
Yeah.
because I feel like it's giving the middle finger to perfect parenting, and I need
It
more
is.
of that in my life.
Yes. And it's so funny that we're talking about this because I'm trying to think of some of the members I know really well, and some of them are new, some of them I don't know really well. It's an invitation to come in as you are and engage however you'd like. So some people are very engaging. Some are like, I just need this, and like that suits my life. But thinking about this now, I feel like there's a lot of ADHD parents in
Yeah.
this group that we don't openly talk about it. And I
Yeah.
think I don't know. Now I'm going to after this. I'm going to bring it up in one of our threads. But so I a little backstory. After a really hard second postpartum with a lot of postpartum rage, I had to figure out how to heal. I had to figure out I deep dove into the nervous system and the subconscious and what my triggers were and why, like, I would just explosively get triggered. And part of that was also coming to terms with the ADHD and being able to go from literally like present, calm, like in the moment. And then the older child would hit the younger child and I was explosive, wildfire, just explosive. And so coming out of that healing phase, I just thought we already have to advocate so hard as moms. There's so much judgment out there. It doesn't matter what you want to do. There's judgment behind every decision that you make coming from every different corner of the internet, even friends and family sometimes. And I really wanted there to be a safe, non-judgmental space where you could show up as you are right now in this present moment with whatever you're feeling, knowing that you're not broken, you don't need fixed. And at the same time, we're going to have events and circumstances and issues that pop up in motherhood, and we don't have to get drawn into the suck of them. That we can be in a community that provide resources to where if you have an actual, like, let's say you have a NICU baby, you need resources to navigate that, like actual tangible resources. So there's evidence-based resources that you can learn about, but then choose what feels good for you. Like I think choice is one of our greatest freedoms, having information and then being able to see what feels good for the motherhood that we want to have for our family, for us, and it looks different for everyone. There's no one right way. And then more on top of that is having nervous system regulation tools for those moments that we're deep in guilt, deep in shame, spiraling in anxiety, all of these things that are common, especially in motherhood, and be able to find the reframes, be able to come back to that calm, rest and digest state. But more so than that, even which I found for myself, which I think is amazing, is yes, when you're having an anxiety attack, like there are tools that you can do to come back to calm. But how much cooler is it when you can get to the root of that, dissolve that root, and then that capacity expands and the things that once triggered you, like, don't bother you anymore. Like, how cool is that? I really wanted to create a community where we could pull in professionals from all the different motherhood realms and be able to give moms the choice to figure out what they want, how they want to live their motherhood, have those resources available to them, and also the community that cheers you along. Like you and I might feel very differently about schooling, let's say, but we can still encourage each other because what you want and what I want is different. And like, good for us for doing what feels good. And also, you and I both cry in the closet sometimes when it's just been a day. So that's essentially what the community is. We have like a resource library. We have a co-op where you can get in and have actual courses, programs, access to parent coaches, therapists, things like that. And then the community aspect where we all get together and chat. We chat virtually a couple of times a month. And then also we have like channels that we can, talk about specific topics. But it goes the entire matrescence. So, and I really wanted it for that reason too, because I know when I was going through the postpartum rage, a lot of the times you find like groups or let's just say anger management type programs, but the underlying cause or feeling but underneath it is like, you're broken. Like, well, you're angry. You need to get fixed. And again, back to like my whole belief is that none of us are broken. None of us need fixed. We're just undernourished, underslept, overstimulated, not supported enough. Like there are reasons why our body's doing what it's doing. Yeah. So I wanted there to be a place that came more from that. Like you're feeling shame. Cool. Let's figure out why. Cause you're not broken. Like it's trying to tell you something. Like let's see what it's trying to tell you, where you can get back into alignment in your life. And also, okay, you leave again, I'll go back to this NICU example. You're in NICU, but you're not NICU forever. All of a sudden, like you're out of NICU and now you are in elementary school. You have a child that's just diagnosed with some neurodiversity and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? So being able to stay in one place and be able to kind of oscillate. And it's funny that we're having this conversation because I kind of designed it in this like spiraling, we're just oscillating in and out of all of the different seasons of motherhood and being able to support each other where I have young kids, but I can talk to you. You may have gone through something that I'm going through now, even though your child is older, and you can help me through that. And I don't need to find all these different specific groups. It can just kind of be in one, and we can just see what works for us when it works for us and like just invitations, not to-dos. I think one of the biggest things I realized too, especially with ADHD, is when you have those like, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then on the nervous system, it's like, if I don't do it, I'm going to die. And so all of GEM is very much invitation based. Like, come in as you are. What do you need? You just want to say hi to someone and celebrate that they just were able to get their baby to sleep through the night. Amazing. You want to celebrate that your child just graduated? Awesome. You want to tell us how you just like lost your shit again and you just want some support? We're here for that too. So yeah, that's a little bit, it's a long, I know I talked a lot about that, but
No, I
there
love
you have
all
it.
of that. I have a couple of things.
Yeah.
You'll find the ones that are coming really hot about a program and then they only
Yeah.
get through like two modules. Those are probably your
Yes.
ADHD moms because we got
Yes.
sidetracked on something else.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes. And that's why I didn't set this up like that. There's no like start here to finish. It's very much, what is it that you need? Like, are you peeing your pants when you laugh? Here's some exercises you could do to help with your pelvic floor health. You're not broken. You just, had a baby and now you need, to
Yeah.
support your pelvic floor. Like, but not like a start here, finish here. This is I've never been, I don't know if I've ever finished a course either. Like now that you say that,
I
yeah.
buy like all the books. I get so excited and
Yes.
I'm either halfway through them or like
Yeah.
two-thirds, but never fully finished.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then another book pops up or a
Or
podcast pops up
something.
and you're like, I gotta listen and I'll come back to it. And then
Yeah.
I never do. Sometimes I do, but I most of the time not.
Yeah. The
Oh my
other
gosh.
thing is, I think that the universe gifted me the shortcut on healing my nervous system because I have found that, and it like people in my life can see it. I
Yeah.
used to, when my kid was a toddler, cry myself to sleep
Mm,
about all my shortcomings as a mom. And
yeah.
now I'm like, I'm sorry.
I love
And
that.
we'll work it out. But I think that's much healthier for him. Not that
Yeah.
he's seen me crying myself to sleep after he was in bed, but it's kind of like, he's learning repair and he's
Yes.
seeing that, these little
Amazing.
mistakes or losing our temper isn't going to ruin our relationship or our day.
Yeah. I love that so much. So did you just almost wake up overnight and you were just like, oh, I get it, like with a realization, or was it more of like a journey?
It was almost overnight, but it came from grief. My lifelong best friend died in
Oh,
2021.
yeah,
And I'm
sorry.
assuming, thank you, I am assuming that grieving her is what caused it. Cried for like
Yeah.
21 days straight, ugly cry.
Yeah.
Only pulled myself together to do the mom things. And then once he was asleep or with that, I was crying again.
Oh,
And then one morning I woke up and like the sky was really blue and everything was beautiful and I wasn't sad anymore. And then
oh,
it was like the universe gifted me a little
that's
secret.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And it's interesting too, because it's like, but it sucked for those 21 days.
Yeah.
Like that was not fun. But then on the other side, you're like, whoa. And like, just, yeah, what a beautiful gift. And then you can
Yes.
share that with everyone, including your son, obviously. But I love that so much.
Thank you for that. I felt
Yeah.
really guilty for quite a while because I'm so happy. And, my friend died.
Yeah.
And I had a spiritual teacher, and he said, could you consider this her final parting gift to you?
Yes.
And I was like,
Absolutely.
that's a lovely reframe. So I'm trying to
Yeah,
hang on to that, but it does feel kind of,
it is.
I do feel a little bit of guilt because some days I'm like incredibly just
Happy.
blissful. Even my son,
Yeah.
I was going to tell you this, he can tell, like, he'll be having a moment. And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't understand why I'm so mad and you're so happy. I'm like, well, I'm choosing
We'll
to be
work on it.
happy.
Yeah. I'm choosing it. It is a choice. It's definitely a choice. Oh,
It
I
is.
love that reframe. I have heard that too from people of, yeah, that especially to, yeah, when best friends, people pass that we love, that it's like their last like love gift to you to like
Yeah,
remember them, remember their love, remember how you feel around them, and to continue to live that way, even though they're not here. I love
yeah,
that so much.
me too. I
And
was very
that,
thankful for
yeah.
that.
And though, like being best friends, like that she's not looking down on you, being like, you better have a sucky life because I'm gone. Like, no, she's probably like, go and live it the F up because I can't, like, go and do it for both of us. Go and do it for everyone. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was definitely that kind of person.
Oh, I love that. And your son, I think kids are so funny how honest they are. And they're like, why am I so angry and you're so happy? You're like, well, we'll work on it.
Yeah. Parenting neurodivergent kiddos feels like trying to build IKEA furniture blindfolded sometimes. You know there's a manual, but it's all in Swedish. That's exactly why I want to spotlight Insight Family Market. They aren't another generic store. They're a curated marketplace built by someone who's literally been in the trenches as an educator and parent, selecting tools that actually make daily life more manageable for real families. From sensory-friendly clothing and adaptive tools to educational supports and wellness essentials, everything is chosen with a family-first mindset. No clinical jargon, no guessing what might help. What I love is that it's not about selling you a quick hack. It's about offering thoughtful, quality products that help create more calm, more confidence, and more actual functioning in chaos. Whether that's at mealtime, bedtime, homework, or quiet moments between the noise. If you are exhausted from chasing solutions and just want a place where the gear feels like it was picked by someone who gets it, Insight Family Market might be that stop on your journey. Another thing we're trying to work on is something will go wrong, something small or something major, and he's like, I'm having the worst day ever.
Mm,
And I'm like, no, this is just a moment. Also,
yeah.
today you've had this whole list of things that was really, really great. So this
Yeah.
one little thing, it's just a moment. It's not your whole day.
I
So we're
love that.
working on both of those.
I love that. How old is he again?
10.
10. That's right. You said that. I can remember. ADHD brain too.
Yeah.
I don't hold on to all the details. But yeah, that's so amazing because yeah, as he gets older, he'll be able to handle these little moments that aren't pleasant. And he'll be like, no, it's just a moment. And yeah, it sucks, but 10 minutes, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
10 minutes will be great.
I also really appreciate that you said that you lose your shit sometimes
Oh my gosh, yeah.
because I don't know why I tend to like put, you have this group and you're teaching people and you are this hub of resources, but to hear you say, I lose it too is so
Mm,
refreshing, and I feel like it's so needed for my own nervous
it
system to
is.
know
Yeah.
that even the quote unquote experts are out here,
Yes.
dropping an F bomb every now and then.
Yes. And oh my gosh. Yeah. Thanks for saying that because I do not feel like an expert at all. I feel like maybe I deep dove into some different tools that I can share with people that are helping me, but also that we're all so different. And I think that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons I wanted to set Gem up in a way that we're all equals and I can learn from you and I can learn from other people and we can all learn from each other and just bringing all of the resources together instead of being like, again, like some of these courses or programs, you get into this specific psychologist's membership, and she's there to help you, but she's there as that figure of, I'm going to help you. And she may or may not be honest with, we're all humans, so we're all going to get overstimulated and we're all going to be underslept sometimes. And
Yeah.
we're all going to reach a capacity to, yeah, where we lose our shit. And then if we know how to repair, it's beautiful. And then our kids don't grow up. I know growing up, one of the things I had to heal from was this like overcompensation of trying to get it right because you can't make mistakes and you can't mess up. And your worth then gets tied to these things. And if you have these like I like messing up because my kids then see, oh, I can mess up too and I can learn and I can grow. And yeah, absolutely. And then maybe I just have tools that I can come back from it faster and I don't spiral down the guilt anymore. Before I just, especially in that postpartum rage, I'd be so guilty. Like I'm screwing my kids up. They're going to have to go through the same stuff I'm going through. And now I'm like, okay, I just yelled because I'm putting too many things. I'm trying to do 10 things at once, and you're a kid, a toddler, who's upset because you don't have your brain's not developed, and now I'm losing it on you. And really, I should not be trying to cook 3 items and answer 5 emails while, like that's on me. So figuring out that faster to be like, okay, thanks for the reminder, nervous system. Like I gotta calm it back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So The universe, of course, gifted me a
Yes.
shortcut because she knew that I desperately needed it. But I'm
Yes.
really big on healing our nervous systems,
Yeah.
not just so that we can be better parents, but so that we can just be genuinely happier.
Yes. And enjoy life.
Yes. So
Yes.
if you have any tips for our
Oh,
listeners,
so
I would
many.
love for you to share them.
Yes. Okay. So, I think some really powerful, quick things for me that I love sharing is, okay, there's a couple of things. Learning how our nervous system and subconscious are communicating to us through emotions.
Mm.
And these emotions are trying to get us back into a rest and digest place. Like the nervous system, something happens, we get sparked with like fear or, our life is in danger. So we need to fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all the things. And then it likes to loop back into safety. And like a lot of the time, we can't finish that loop back into safety and we get stuck in unanswered emails mean death and babies crying mean death and all these things mean death. And instead of being like, I can't do all the things, especially with the ADHD brain, like, I can't do all the things. What's wrong with me? Being like, oh, what is my nervous system telling me? I'm feeling this emotion, getting curious about it, and knowing, especially when we have these thoughts of, I'm not good enough, like, those don't feel good, which means they're not true. So let's get back to that truth of what your nervous system is trying to tell you to get back there. Because if it was true, you wouldn't feel bad. Like if you told me I had brown hair, yeah, I do. But if you also told me, no, your hair is green, I'd be like, well, I believe I have brown hair. So like that doesn't bother me. But those things bother us when it comes to, are you a good mom? Are you doing the right things? And so we get those bad feelings. And I think one of the fastest ways is to notice when those quote unquote bad feelings arise to be able to change them quickly, to realize that they're a lie. And what is your nervous system trying to tell you to come back to that rest and digest, relaxed, calm state? What do you need to do for yourself? And it's not bad when that happens because we want that to happen. We want a lion to jump in front of us. We want ourselves to be like, ah, lion, what do I do? We don't want to be like, oh, cool, lion, let me just cuddle. Like, that's not going to end well at all. So again, going back to we're not broken, nothing's bad. All of this is information trying to tell us how to come back. That's been one of my most powerful things to do because it's so different for everyone. So I might have anxiety, you might have anxiety, and they're stemming from different places. So like, let's just get curious about what is coming from. And maybe in the moment, it's so emotion ridden and sensational like you can't think about it. So in those times, like I like to just pause and be like, okay, what problem do I have right now? Like in this second right now I'm talking to you, I don't have a problem. Maybe I'm worried about what's going to happen next week at a meeting, or is my kid not going to graduate? Like you can't do anything about that. Like what problem do I have right now? It's usually nothing. Sometimes maybe you left the stove on, and then in which case you can go and figure it out, go turn it off. But so to kind of pull yourself back to the present moment, I think to keep things really simple and easy has helped me with my nervous system. Like, how easy can it be? How simple can it be? I don't need to overcomplicate it. Like, how can I just feel more into myself? One of my favorite things to do actually is in the morning to just put my hand on my heart and just say, what is it that my heart needs today? Because and especially I think with ADHD brains, like for me, anyways, I know there's some like structure that's good, but like I don't really have a super structured day. Like kids wake up, we make breakfast, we do something, but it's not by 10 a.m. we're out that, there's not a lot of like super structure in my life. So being able to just be like, what does my heart need today? Maybe it's a little bit slower morning. Maybe it's like, let's go to the park earlier. Maybe it's, I don't know. It could be whatever. But figuring out kind of some of those things that like work for you and your nervous system to come back to safety, I think would be my tips. And just knowing that everything's information, even when we feel guilty, like it is information telling us that there's something that we need to dig into further, or anger or whatnot. But yeah,
I have a story about
yeah.
that. Hope my dad's not listening,
Just
but
tell him not to listen to this episode.
just this one. But years ago, when I was angry mom,
Mhm.
when my kid didn't listen to me, I would be so triggered. Like, why are you not listening? And I'm not sure if it was just a sudden realization or if some of the self work I'd been doing, kicked in, but it was like, I'm not mad at him for not
Yeah,
listening. I'm fearful because if I had acted that way at his age, I
absolutely.
would have probably been beaten.
Hmm.
But then I
And
was
you're a
like,
bad kid.
yes. And now it's like I'm raising the bad
Hmm.
kid. But I was
Yeah.
like, that was mind
Yeah.
blowing. I'm not mad at
Yes.
him, for, not
Yeah.
listening or completely
Absolutely.
disregarding me. It was the fear from 35 years
Yes.
ago. Yeah.
And that fear that was put on you, like I went through the same thing with my postpartum rage, realizing that my older child, who's 2, is hitting my newborn, very developmentally appropriate behavior for her. And I was losing my shit and realized it's because my sister and I, we were 2 years apart. I
Mm.
felt like I was abandoned when she was born. I didn't get as much attention anymore. And then I was labeled the bad kid, the mean kid, the there's something wrong with me kid my whole life. My whole life, I was always then that kid. So I see that and that exactly same fear of like, oh my gosh, she's gonna grow up the same way I did in fear that she's the bad kid. And so you act out the exact same way that you don't want to act out. And
Yeah.
once you realize that, it seriously is mind blowing. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
I
Like, yeah.
know.
But it's cool though, because then you realize you're the problem. So you're the solution. And
Yeah.
then, yeah. And it's so, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I really feel like parenting is
Yeah,
just self work.
it is.
Like our
Yes.
kids come in and like you
Yes.
said, there's
They
nothing wrong with
reflect
them.
it.
They're 100% who they're meant to be. And the problem is me and how I'm
Yeah.
responding to whatever that is. So I guess I
Yeah.
just really hope that every mom out there is reparenting herself and
Yes.
enjoying the journey because
Yeah.
it's not for the faint of heart.
No, it is not at all. No. And then, yeah, we realize all the conditioning that we have that we thought was
Yeah.
normal and fine. And then you're like, oh, wait, what? Why do I even do this? Why do I think this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seriously is a journey of reparenting. Yeah, the kids are perfect and they're just like showing us where we're imperfect. But
Yes.
again, we're not broken or flawed. We're just, we've got some lenses and some beliefs that maybe aren't true.
Yeah. If my
Yeah.
dad is listening to this episode, I will give him a lot of praise and grace. He
Yeah.
is letting me parent on my own and
Oh,
he's
I love
letting me
that.
figure it out and he doesn't step in and he's just like,
Aw,
okay. So I'm
I
really
love
proud of
that.
him for that.
Yes, good for him. I love that. But it is true. Like you can't really fault people for what they don't know or what they believe at that time. Like
Yeah.
I had a bunch of abuse in my when I was a kid or suffered from abuse. And working through that, healing through that, I realized that they didn't know what they didn't know. They were just acting out of the lenses how they were raised.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucked. Yeah, like, are we close today? No. And if they could have done better or different, they would have.
Yeah.
So it's almost like compassion for our parents and like just the more you learn, the more you know. And who knows, like when our kids, our parents, they're probably going to be like, Mom, I'm healing from you were like reparenting yourself too much to where now I had to parent. I didn't have a parent because you were reparenting yourself. Like who knows what it's going to be. Just a beautiful ride.
Yes, it is. One thing I can say, I did not know that my parents had ADHD
Mm,
until I was in my late 30s.
yeah.
But it's given me the power to look back and say,
Like,
you know, that was probably ADHD. And it's
yeah.
allowed me to understand and give them
Yeah. More
show me
compassion.
compassion.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. I wish a lot of us, like everyone listening, to just have like that compassion for our caregivers too, because yeah, like they struggled too. And
Yeah.
a lot of time we blame them for the way we are, but like that's not really useful. It's more useful to figure out how to live in a better light now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that.
I did not get to cover half of the questions I wanted to cover. I'm sorry because I've been like off on the rails. But one of the
It's the
things
ADHD
that
podcast.
it is, but that's one of the things that I feel like came up with when I was researching your group is that
Mm,
it seems like a place to heal from trauma.
mm-hmm.
And when I got older and was doing the self work and all of that, I realized how much trauma
Yeah.
was passed down in my family that they have not healed from or probably
Yeah.
even recognized. So that is like a huge component of our 2025 lives.
Yes, it absolutely is. And you make such a good point because a lot of time they don't know. Like, how many times do you hear just the verbiage of, that happened to me and I'm okay. I experienced that and I'm okay. Like, you're alive. Great. Are you really like 100% okay? Could things have been different? Could things be different now today still? And yeah, once you kind of start digging, you realize like even some of the little T traumas that scope your whole life out. Like I remember, and it's all like words that we hear when we're kids. I remember my dad telling me not to piss my stepmom off, to avoid a, a lot of things. And I realized, I think this was probably last year too, I deep dove into how subconscious beliefs are formed and realized that those like, what is that, 5 words? Don't piss her off, or 4 words or whatever, made me live my life in such a way that I don't piss anyone off. Because if I piss anyone off, that means abuse for me. And it, in college, like people would be like, "Oh, Sammy, we love Sammy. She like gets along with everybody, like everyone loves her." All these things. And really, it was because I was afraid to like share my own thoughts or my own beliefs. And I just agreed with everybody because I can't piss them off. And so like realizing that you're like, oh, then some of these actions and behaviors that people have, you think are good. Not that they're not good. Like getting along with people is not inherently a bad thing, but the root cause of why you're getting along with people, like the energy behind why you're getting along with people, is a very different story. So, yeah, once you kind of start diving into that and you just kind of get lighter and lighter and freer to where now you can be present, you can be yourself, like nothing's wrong, you're okay. And you can be in a group of moms and that's why I really love this, like making some really good friends of moms that have the same thought process. Like we can be different. We're all okay. We're just trying to enjoy motherhood. And in enjoying motherhood, we're showing our children how they can enjoy life too. Not fretting over if I accidentally made a mistake or didn't follow the parenting book exactly, or I'm supposed to say, I can't let you run with scissors, but I said, don't run with scissors. Like, am I really messing them up forever? I don't know. But we have the tools to be in connection and repair and all the things. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think that
definitely.
is invaluable to have that group, that community, and that support. To, like I said, even you telling me that you lose your shit sometimes is soothing to my whole everything
Yes.
because
Yeah,
you just feel like you're not alone. And like
yeah.
motherhood is so hard.
So
So
hard.
sharing those blow ups, sharing those
Yeah.
successes, healing along the way, I can't imagine a better thing for moms out there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's like all about that full body exhale for sure. And that just made me remember another thing I love doing, another tip for people when you're in that reactive state. One of the fastest ways that gets me out of it, because, like, let's be honest, breath work is amazing, but it does not always help, especially when it comes to those like fast, explosive type moments. But what helps me is in that moment, just telling myself they should be doing this. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, there's no problem. Like they should be doing this. My child should be throwing a tantrum because he doesn't want to put his pants on to go to school. The same thing. The dog should be barking. There's some stranger walking up to our door, dropping off a box. Like the dog is alerting us. Our kids are doing like we should. But I also like to take that to ourselves too. So when I do make that mistake, when I do yell, I should yell. You want to know why I should yell? Because my nervous system right now is so just on alert. I'm so overstimulated. I'm so underslept. Like I should yell because I need to go and take 5 minutes to give myself some breath, to give myself like some self-love. So yeah, I should yell. They should react. They react. Everything happens exactly the way it should happen in that moment to tell us what's going on. So it's giving that compassion back to me too. But it also stops me in my tracks of like, as I'm like about to explode and lose it, be like, oh wait, they should be doing that. They should like be making this huge mess. Like that's what kids do. Like they should be bouncing off the walls when I'm trying. They don't care that I want to go to this appointment. Like they're playing, they're having fun. Like, duh, they should be.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite tips to just like super fast be like, oh, there's no problem. How am I going to handle this situation? There's no problem.
I love that, and I'm going to remember that
Yeah, it's so easy to
for
remember.
the
Just it
moments
should
that I
be.
get
Yeah.
wound up. I get
Yeah.
wound up sometimes, Sammy. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And you should. I'll just
Yeah, I
re-say that. You
should.
should
Yeah.
because there's a reason.
Yeah. When you said
Yeah.
the dog was barking and the kids were doing that, it made me think of a really funny story. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing. I had a friend
Yeah.
who her family was sick. She had just gotten everybody to bed, and at the doorman, the
Oh
delivery guy came and
no.
knocked
Rang the
on the
doorbell.
door at like 8:30 because it was Christmas season, delivering packages.
Yeah.
And she was like, I opened the door like a crazy person and started yelling, why would you ring the doorbell at 8:30 at
Uh,
night? And the guy was like, it's a package.
He's like, I'm just the doorman. I'm just telling you the package is here. And she's like, don't you know that everyone's sick? And I just got into bed. Like, and that's, yeah. And I could see it should happen. Both should happen.
And we did laugh about it the next day when she was
Yeah.
telling me about it. But like in that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that because like that's
Yes.
probably been me multiple
Oh,
times.
absolutely. We taped our doorbell, like taped it so that it makes it look like it's broken. Now it doesn't matter. The kids don't nap, but when they were napping, like, nope, doorbell is taped. Do not ring it because
Yeah.
I will get mad at anyone who wakes the baby. Yeah.
No.
Luckily that phase is gone, but a lot of people are still in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the signs where it's like you wake the baby up, you're taking the baby, and then
Yep.
it's your problem.
Yeah. Yes.
Sammy, I have taken
Oh,
you all over the map today, and
yes.
I'm sorry it's not been a linear journey,
No,
but
I love it. I love it.
is there anything else that you would love for our listeners to know about Jim?
Mm. Okay, that's a great question. Well, I'd love to invite, well, okay, a couple of things. If anyone just like needs to talk or like is feeling, I mean, I know for me, like I had a lot of rage. Like, so if there's anyone that's like, yeah, like, or I have ADHD and I'm experiencing all this stuff, like, please like DM me. I'm totally open to chatting. But I'd also love to offer everyone a discount too if I have to make it, I'll make it so that it will be live.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd love to offer anyone who wants to jump in with 20% off too, to see the community, check it out. And that would be 20% off for every renewal.
Very
So,
nice.
whether it's monthly or annually, and I'll like send you the email with all the things, but
Yeah.
might as well make it like caffeine and chaos will be the code.
That's perfect. And we will definitely put that in the show notes.
Yeah. But yeah, if anyone's looking for that kind of community or just, and really it's not a to do, it's more like that peace of mind in your back pocket that just, if you need something, it's there. And I know for me, I value just having a resource when I need it, when I want it. I have some stuff that I don't use daily, but if I need it, I'm like, I'm so glad that, I just have this resource.
Yeah.
And then also the community aspect too of just like I live in a small town, so I love being able to connect with other moms going through similar things as me elsewhere. Um, yeah, because we're all going through things and just having that like loving space versus the you need to I think there's so many camps of like you need to either be like a really natural crunchy mom or you need to follow this like I don't even know all the terminologies like scrunchies and I don't know. There's so many like camps, and you almost have to fall into that camp and not fall outside of it at all. Even if like, can't you like be in this one side, but like have a couple of beliefs that match this other side? And why do they even have to have sides? So I don't know. I like the community because it's very much just like supportive of and empowering just to live the motherhood you want to live,
Yeah.
not that I want to live. So yeah.
I love that. I think in 2025, you're either this or that.
Yeah.
And really, we're all a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I think that's
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sammy, I always ask for some final parting advice, and selfishly, somehow it always ends up being exactly what I need to hear. So,
Yeah.
any parting words for the listeners?
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Isn't this like one part of being ADHD that I have 500 things I want to say, and at the same time, I can't think of any of them? Um,
I'll narrow it down because I usually ask for
yeah.
struggling mom advice, and that could be
Okay.
on the spectrum or neurotypical.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this advice would go for both, I think. In if we're struggling, I've said this multiple times already, and I just feel it so deep in my heart that moms need to hear this, is that you are not broken and you are not doing anything wrong. And if you are struggling, obviously finding some support to help in that actual struggle, like where are you struggling? How can you get a little bit of support? But then even more so, how can you start to, I don't want to say like plan, but if you're really struggling, there is something off, you're needing some kind of support of sorts. And that's great. Like I think asking for the help, asking for the support is a huge one. You're not lazy if you can't do things. You're not broken. If you need support, it doesn't mean that like you're a bad person. Like it actually, I would say it's a superpower to ask for support and ask for some help. But yeah, just that we're not broken and it's just trying to tell you something. So if you're struggling, how can you get immediate support for that actual thing you're struggling with? But more so, how can you change maybe even your mindset, a reframe, actually changing something in your life to help then support you so you're not just putting a band-aid on whatever situation is coming up? Like, how can you actually start to make even some just like slight changes, whether it's internally, externally, however, to help you be able to show up with more. I think like a lot of us, we just really want like peace and clarity of mind and like freedom and just happiness. And we feel like we have to do it all. And we don't have to, and both ends, like doesn't matter how your brain works. Like we're conditioned that we have to do it all and then we can't. And then we're depleted and then we feel bad for being depleted. And it's not bad. We're not bad. We're not broken. We don't need fixed. Just how can we give ourselves some of that support and using that as a superpower? Because once you get that support, like you can just imagine how you can just show up with the support and being able to show up the way you want to show up. And who cares if you had to like go and hire a house cleaner for a few months? Like, doesn't mean it has to be forever. I think that's another great, actually, this is a great one that I come back to all the time while making decisions. It's just a right now decision. Like, what do I need right now? What does my family need right now? It's not a forever thing. Like it's a right now thing. Like, okay, maybe my child isn't sleeping right now. Doesn't mean forever. Maybe I need help with the laundry right now. Maybe, just it's all right now. Like, and I think we get caught up in, okay, if I make this decision 10 years down the road, what's that going to look like? Like, who cares? But like right now it's going to help you. So do it. Tomorrow you might change your mind.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say for struggling. I know that was all over the place too.
No, I feel
But
like that was perfect. That's a permission slip to know that you
yes.
are not broken and to
Yeah.
ask for the help that you need.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Again, very
Thanks.
selfishly, it's always for me.
Yay. Yes. Permission to do whatever you need and change your mind whenever you need to.
I love
There you
that.
go. Very simple.
There you go. Sammy, thank you so much. This has
Thank
been
you.
wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Me too. If this conversation hit you in the chest a little, that's not because you're broken. It's because you're human. Huge thanks to Sami for stopping by and for giving language to what so many moms feel but can't quite articulate. The rage, the grief, the identity loss. The quiet whisper of, I don't recognize myself anymore. And here's what I'm taking with me. You are not failing motherhood. It's a transition. It's neurological. It is emotional. And when you layer ADHD on top of it, whew, of course it feels intense. But intense doesn't mean incapable. If today's episode gave you even one exhale, one tiny shift from what's wrong with me to, oh, this makes sense, check out Sami's work in the gym community in the show notes. Dive into her resources. Sit with the idea that Good Enough might actually be revolutionary in your house. While you're there, do all of the things. Subscribe, like, leave us a review. But more importantly, I need you to share this with another woman who's white-knuckling her way through the day. Help me get these conversations into the hands of the moms who need it most. That's it for this week on Chaos and Caffeine. I'm Danielle, and I'll see you next week, emotional support coffee in hand. Can we be honest for a second? If the words school stress make your eye twitch, same. Because traditional school plus ADHD plus already fried nervous systems, phew, that's chaos we did not sign up for. That's why I love Me Academy. It's an online learning platform that lets kids learn at their own pace. No rushing, fewer power struggles, and way fewer homework meltdowns. Yes, please. As a mom, I love that it offers structure without rigidity and learning without wrecking our relationship with our kids. They can rewind lessons, pause when their brain taps out, and actually understand the material. If your 2026 goal is less chaos and more peace, this one actually delivers. Check out meacademy.co to learn more and start your trial for just $1.99. Me Academy isn't about perfect school. It's about school that works for real life.